everybody to challenge number 3. Time to organize your embellishments. So let's start off with the normal sort of live stream. This is what happens. And you know what, Sue? Of course, this is the one day I didn't bring water up with me. And of course, I'm going to start coughing any moment. Do you mind? Sorry. I'm usually really good about having a glass of water up here, so when I get a little tickle or something, but today I'm just not with it. So, live stream, this is how it works. If you're new, there's a little chat box going on the side of the screen. If you have a question, type in the word question in all caps. Karen's watching for that, and she will answer your questions. Somebody else might answer as well, as we have some people on board with us who've taken the challenge more than once, or this is their second or more time. So if you are new to the challenge, don't let yourself get overwhelmed. Know that it happens 3 times a year, and you can go through it and just keep working through and just keep joining us as much as you need motivation and inspiration to do that. So welcome to challenge number 3. Also, if you're new, progress posts. You want to tell us how you're doing as we go through the week, because we give away a prize every week, and you can do that either via email or by posting on our Facebook page. And what else did I need to tell you? I think that's it, so let's get started. And we're going to start off, thank you so much, with this week's winner, who is, perfect, Denise Sanders. Congratulations, Denise. And I usually don't read the whole winner. It goes up on our page, but I wanted to read this because it made me laugh out loud this morning. Denise says, yesterday a friend came over and took home most of my purge items. As she was going through the bags, I had to remind her twice to not ooh and ah, LOL. Please, she says, please don't ooh and ah out loud. It was hard enough to put those things in the purge basket, and I'm not allowed to take them out. So please ooh and ah silently. So I thought that was really cute. And then after they loaded up her car, she said, I contacted a neighbor. She and I are very distant and weren't really friendly with each other, but I know that she's a scrapbooker, so I invited her over and offered for her to take the other stuff. Both of the neighbor and the friend very happy, and Denise very happy that she has a much cleaner space. So congratulations, Denise. Purging is really kind of the hardest part for a lot of us, right? Getting rid of those things. Even though we know in our heads we're not going to use them, in our hearts it's difficult to get rid of that stuff, to move it out the door. So congratulations to you for a very successful week and some good purging. I have a little comment here from a previous participant, Gail Colvin, who says it would be really helpful if you could actually physically show the process of sorting. So I've got my little sorting mess over here today, and we're going to actually go through that so that you can actually see how that process works in a really miniature form. Challenge goals this week. Understand how to combine and conquer your embellishments. Understand why combining them is the best way, right? So much of getting organized is in your head. How you're thinking really affects the outcome. So if you can change the way you think, if you can sort of break out of that mold of what we've been commonly taught of separating everything, buttons, brads, beads, bows, eyelets, glitter, stickers, paper, and bring it all together in that combine and conquer mode. That's really, do you want to get in the show today, honey? Park has returned, for those of you who have been following Park's blog. He's back from his big journey, but he doesn't want to come and say hi to the camera. He's a little bit shy. He's a shy guy. All right, so we're going to begin the sorting process, but one thing I want you to understand is the value of that combine and conquer and how that is such a masterful way to get organized. And really great example of it that all of us have, or most of us have, is your silverware drawer, right? The silverware drawer is the master of organization, right? You keep things you use together in the silverware drawer. If you're ready to set the table, everything you need is in one place. It's visible and it's accessible. After dinner, you put all those things into the dishwasher, and when they're clean, you pull them out in that little basket and you put them right back. So it's easy to take them out, easy to use them, and easy to put them away. So simple. So think about your craft supplies in that same way, right? If you take all of your buttons and put them up around the ceiling of your craft room, that would be like hanging all your forks on the wall. And if you have all your stickers in little baskets on shelves, that would be like taking all your spoons and putting them in all little different baskets on the shelves, right? So we spread our craft supplies out everywhere, yet we know keeping things together, we use together, is the best way to have things visible and accessible. And it's also the best way to be able to put them away. So for those of you who always end up with a pile of stuff at the end of your desk, when you're done working, combining and conquering makes putting those things away super simple and super easy. So you're going to be able to eliminate that clutter as well. It's such a bonus. All right, so what do we need to get ready? We need to have our themes list, which we worked on last week. We need to have some sort of sorting template. So I made mini templates. These are only little 8.5 by 11 templates, but remember, I want you to do yours on 12 by 18. Mine are little guys, so it's easier for me to spread them around on the desk for my little sample today. You need to have a plan. Well, where will things go once they're sorted and organized? What kind of organizing tools are you going to use, right? And remember, you need to keep that purge box handy. So you started your purge box last week. It's going to be your friend all the way through the challenge, and hopefully you're going to have a smaller version of that purge box with you forever. So as you're going through things, you're going to be able to throw them right in there no matter how far along we are. All right, what do you do with things like this, right? Look at this cute little set that I have here. These are all little metallic goodies. It's super cute. It comes in the set, but it's hard to get to. You can't really see what's in there. It would be a pain in the neck to take with you to a crop or a class. So what I'm going to recommend for anything like this is that you just get your hands on some little Ziploc bags. And I've just got a couple of different sizes here. And then you use the Ziploc bags to store those things, because you're going to take a whole bunch of space out by sorting this way, right? So you're going to need those Ziploc bags. I'm just going to put these gold and copper and bronze glittery buttons into this little bag, right? So you can see they're solid color on one side, but they're all sparkly on the other. So I've got all these little metallics here. Now look at this ribbon. Super cute, right? Great little metallic colors. I have no idea how much of it's in this little jar, right? And it's really hard to get to, and it takes up a weird amount of space. So look at that. I've got 3 colors here. So I could roll it up, spend the time to roll it up and make it neat and tidy, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take those ribbons and put them in this little Ziploc bag, and then I can kind of flatten it out, and I can store it all in my metallic section when I am sorting my things. So now I can fit it into my scrap rack, or if you're using the little plastic boxes, or if you're using Ziploc bags, it's all going to fit in there, right? These are not going to fit anywhere except on a shelf around your room, which is not a good place to put all your stuff, because it's going to be a pain in the neck to get to. So remember, we talked in previous episodes about making it easy, right? The things that you can see, the things that you can put your hands on, these are the things that you're going to use, right? Front of your mind, front of your workspace, right? So now I've got all those little crinkly ribbons, and they're all just, oh, I have a little string sticking out. Let me push that in there. That's causing me some problems. My OCD is kicking in there. Get in there, this little string. I'm going to close that up. I'm going to push the air out of it even. That's going to make it even a little bit flatter for me, right? And then I've got these little gold glitter guys. So now I have these 3 little cute jars, which I can use to make some other cool little craft supply. Maybe I'll make a message in a bottle, who knows. But those are now, these are small, they're compact, they're going to be so much easier to work with and sort. So anything you've got like this that's big and bulky, that's hard to store, or that takes up a lot of airspace around it, I'm going to recommend finding a better way, a smaller, more compact, more easy to access way to store them, and then do something cute with these, right? Maybe you can make some mini floral arrangements or something fun and cute with those. All right. Ribbon and fiber also, this is another challenge people have. What do I do with ribbon and fiber? If you're a ribbon junkie and you have lots and lots of ribbon, I'm not going to encourage you to pull that ribbon off all the spools. I am going to encourage you to sort it into the 4-section system in whatever container you're actually using, right? So we'll talk a little bit more about that, or you'll see more about that when we do the color organizers. I should have set up a ribbon box today. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll take some pictures of that so you can kind of see what I'm talking about there, about a different container. So if you're a ribbon junkie, I don't want you pulling all that ribbon off, right? I want you to store it in the 4-section system, which means if you're using ribbon storage boxes, or maybe you're using our Stash and Store 5-drawer box, then you can put our Stash and Store 3-drawer ribbon box. Then you might have a drawer that's a rainbow, and again, you're going to go red, orange, yellow, green, blue. You might have a drawer that's themes. You might have a drawer that's holidays. But the thing is, you want to group those together. So even if you had 20 rolls of Christmas ribbon, or you know what, Sue, since you're bopping along in there, on the top shelf in there, there's that, there's the Edna bag with the spring ribbon. It's on the top, like middle shelf in the workroom. So Sue's going to grab one of those things. I don't have the ribbon box handy, but I know I do have the Edna bag handy for that. If you don't have a lot of ribbon, you have the small micro ribbons, you can just throw them into some of the scrap rack pages. The pockets are nice and deep. If you're using the Ziploc bags, right, it's easy to throw those ribbons right in. So you can see here I've got like blues and purple, so I've got all those things grouped by color in there. Or if you're using this type of box, again, you can throw the ribbon in. So let's do this one. So but if you're a ribbon junkie and you have tons of ribbon by holiday and seasons, so this is our little Edna bag, right? So I've got all the spring ribbons together in one place. I can label it on the end. These are spring. So if you're a ribbon junkie, don't pull everything off, but figure out a way, kind of we talked last week about linking things together, right? Figure out a way to go, okay, I'm working on spring. Now I've got my spring ribbon. I can pull that out and have it handy. Now, if you have just a few ribbons, so this is a start of this is just a 4x6 piece of chipboard, and I just took my Halloween ribbon and wrapped it around there. If I have a couple more, I think when I bought this, there was like 4 ribbons in the set, and I just wanted to compact it down, so I just would wrap it around this card, and now it's going to fit right into my fall section here in my scrap rack. I can add a few more ribbons to it. I can put something else in front of it if I want to. So ribbon junkies, you want to still sort in that 4-section system. Match your storage container so that you can pull things together easily. Not a ribbon junkie, figure out a way to get it in your scrap rack or whatever storage container that you're actually using. All right, so sorting templates. Let's talk about sorting now. Get this out of the way here for a second. So we made our sorting templates last week, and they follow along with your 4-section system and your themes. So I've got winter, that's holiday and seasons. I've got metallics, reds and pinks. That's rainbow. I got a little sample here of B, baby, beach, birthday. And then alphabets and numbers, just to kind of show you. So I did baby, beach, and birthday all on one thing, right? Depending on where you are in your life and what you're passionate about, what you spend your time doing, you may have tons of baby stuff because you have little kids and you know that, or lots of birthday stuff. Again, if you have little kids or young children, you're going to be having birthday stuff for years. If you know you have a lot, it's okay to make a generic B that maybe just says beach and baby, and then make another B that's all birthday, so that you can, things you know in the front of your head, in the top of your mind that you have, you can go ahead and make a sorting template just for those, right? So that was going to eliminate a step of that extra sorting later. And we all kind of know, like for me, I'm passionate about travel stuff. I buy travel stuff everywhere that I see it. I love it. It's my favorite thing. So if I was doing this for tea, then I would have a travel section totally separate from anything else that would be in tea, which probably isn't anything. That would probably be my only thing in tea anyway. All right. So you made your sorting templates. Now you're going to spread them out wherever. Now, I want to remind you about this. We talked about it last week. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, right? So you want to work in small batches, so keep that in mind. So if you can spread things around, maybe you have a big dining room table that you can put a leaf in the middle so you can get a lot of the templates spread out. That's kind of the best way to go. The more compact you can make those templates, the better, right? So you're going to spread out your sorting templates, and then you're going to choose one container, right? One basket, one drawer, one box, whatever it is, and you're going to sort that one container. So here's my little pile. Let's say this is my one basket of goodies that I'm going to sort, and I'm just going to go through each one. So this is metallic. Now, some things need to come out of their containers and some things don't, and you're just going to have to make a call on that. So in this example, these examples right here, I've got these metallic brads, right? Both of them are pretty thin. They're both going to fit in my scrap rack in the containers that they're in. It's going to be totally fine to leave them in those containers. I don't need to take them out. I'm going to drop those on the metallic. Now when I get to this guy, these are alphabet, plastic alphabet letters, and they came in this container, which you can see is kind of big to throw that whole container in my scrap rack, and it's going to take up a ton of space. So what did I do? I enlisted the help of my friendly Ziploc bag. So now I can spread those out and kind of flatten them out a little bit when I put them in my scrap rack. I'll be able to see more of them, and that box, that big bulky box, is just going bye-bye. So those go in alphanumeric. Ooh, here's another thing of those. Those are in alphanumeric. And I'm back to my metallics here. Ooh, another little skinny container of fancy brads for metallics. And I've got some alphabet stickers. Here's a baby thing. More alphabets. Oh, these are little, this is the alphabet rub-on. So those are all going on alphanumeric. Now I've got some reds and pinks. So I've got bling and butterflies and a little bag of glitter. Let's talk about glitter, right? A little bit of glitter goes a long way. We know that. Whatever tool you're using for organizing your supplies, if you can put glitter right in with everything else, there's a better chance that you're actually going to use that glitter. You don't need a whole jar, right? Sometimes we buy those big square jars at the craft store. That much glitter will glitter the world. You only need a Ziploc bag, maybe a little bit bigger than this Ziploc bag, full of glitter. Now it's visible and it's accessible. It's stuffed right in with the rest of your things. You're going to remember that you have it and you're going to use it. When you finish up that bag of glitter, when you empty it out, you can go to your backstock area and just refill it, that bag, and put it back in your scrap rack or whatever storage tool that you're using. So even things like glitter, micro beads, anything like that, figure out a way to get it to combine and conquer, to get it mixed in with everything else, and then you're actually going to see it and you're going to use it. So I've got a little happy birthday sign here. I have a note from the, I have a little note from the last challenge that says, mention that themes can be difficult if they are like flourish and bling. So you have to keep in mind a lot of what you're sorting and storing, and as you're categorizing things, is about what's in your head and what things mean to you, right? So bling, this is bling, and this is bling. Well, these are all the same colors of bling. But you want to put your bling by color, not by type of thing, right? So if you take all of your bling, all the different kinds, so you've got gold round and pink and red round, and I've got pink flowers, and I've got gold cat eyes, and I might have other shapes or whatever, and I put all that bling together. If I don't specifically think I'm going to use bling on this page, I'll never see it and I won't use it. Whereas if you take your bling and put it in by color, now it's more generic, and when you think, oh, I need to put something red on this page, you're going to see that red bling when you go to your red section. Or if you think, I need red bling on this page, you're still going to go to red and find that red bling. So try to break away from that thought process of keeping like products together and try to think in really more generic terms of looking for things by color or by theme, and it's going to be so much easier. You're going to be so surprised how much easier it is, right? Now, there's this other question, and I think we kind of touched on it before, about shapes. Where do you put shapes, right? So if you want to start a section in your themes section called shapes, and you have, circles and squares and triangles and chevrons and whatever it is there, it's a great place for things like templates that don't have any color associated with them as well. Then you can certainly have that shapes section. But keep in mind certain shapes, I think hearts was the example I used last week, Hearts remind me of Valentine's Day, right? So everything I have that's heart is going to go in Valentine's Day, because when I think, whether I'm making a page that says I love you, or a Valentine's card that says I love you and that's totally specific Valentine's Day, or I'm working on a page that says I love bike riding, when I need love or a heart, it's going to be easy for me to go to that Valentine's Day section and find that particular thing. So keep that in mind. What is going to make it simple for your brain to find the products that you're looking for? Usually the more generic the category, the better off you're going to be. All right, so you're going to go through and sort all of your little goodies here onto your sorting templates. And once you finish that basket or that drawer, whatever that one thing was that you were supposed to sort, then you're going to put it all away, right? So even if that one thing was just a small thing, you want to put all this stuff away and then start again. So you can literally just go to whatever section you're working with or whatever tool you've got. So again, whether you're using, you know, the Ziploc bags or those flat boxes or scrap rack, you can go right to that section. And I know mine's kind of a cheater, right? Because I use it all the time. So in we go with our alphabets, and then I've got, oh, my these big bulky letters, these plastic letter alphabets. So now you can see if I was wanting to work with these big plastic letter alphabets, I can see quickly and easily what colors I have. They're all the same size. So that's the other thing about grouping products together, especially in alphanumeric. If you can keep things together by size, then you're going to know what you have that's all going to work together, right? So if you put your pink letters all together in your pink section and you wanted to spell out Happy Easter, but some of the things were missing on your pink letters and you thought, oh, I'm going to use lime, then you'd have to go to green and try and see if you have the same font or about the same size in that different color or yellow or whatever you wanted. Whereas if you keep them all together by size, in the alphabet section, boom, you know exactly what you've got, you know what letters are available, so it makes it really simple, right? So I'm just going to flip through here. My next thing is baby and birthday. So I'm going to go past A for animals, and I'm going to, here we have baby. I'm going to slip my little stork stickers in there. Now I'm going to get to my birthday pages. Now one of the nice things here is that you can put things in, if you're using a scrap rack, backwards and forwards. So while I might have 8 or 10 things in this pocket or these pockets, by flipping them around, I can see both sides. So you can see now I can see on both sides when I flip this over. So if I took all those guys and flipped them the other way, I would be able to see a lot more and a lot more quickly. So keep that in mind as you're loading your pockets. All right, now I'm on to my rainbow section. I'm just going to flip to that reds and pinks. And I'm going to pull these guys out and find a little space for them. And I've got a hole right here for my pink butterfly, my pink glitter. Those are going to go right in the top. But you can see how easy it is once you start sorting this way to just find a home for those things. Don't be afraid, if you're using a scrap rack, to go ahead and just load those things up. So you can see here I've got just a bunch of flowers in this bottom pocket. I've got some big thick ribbon or whatever. And again, if you put things backwards and forwards, then you're going to be able to see from both sides what those things look like. Oh, I got a little more pink bling. I'm going to put it back here in the front, one of these smaller pockets. Now, sometimes I get asked by people, should I leave empty pockets in my scrap rack in each section so that I can fill things in more easily? And my gut reaction to that is no. You never know what size or shape those particular things are going to be. So if you are using a scrap rack, you might just keep all your extra pages on a Spinder with just a little sticky note that kind of tells you whether it's a super size single or a fabulous 4. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of you don't even know what the scrap rack is, but when I'm saying those super size single, fabulous 4, each one of our pages has a name that kind of denotes how many pockets. So this is called the Trader's 12 because there's 12 pockets on the page, right? And then when you buy new products and you're trying to integrate them into your scrap rack, you can go right to the Spinder that you have with all your empty pages and choose the right page and add it at that time. Otherwise, I think that you'll end up with empty pages all throughout your scrap rack, so it's taking up time and putting them in there and just taking up space, and they might be better used somewhere else. They're just I just don't think it's efficient. So my last thing is going to be my metallics, and I know that I need to add a new page for metallics, and I don't have any sitting here in front of me, but I was just looking at my little demo rack this morning, so I'm going to go past black and white and into my metallics page here. And these are all mostly gold, and these are all mostly silver, so I have a couple golds in there. I'm going to take those golds out and create another page in that metallic section that's all gold when I sort these into it. So super simple, right? You want to work in small batches, and you want to just go put everything out, put it away. You might have an hour to set aside for organizing today or tomorrow or whenever you're going to do it. And that one basket might only take you 5 minutes. That's okay. Still go from start to finish, put it all away. Take out the next basket, start to finish, and put it all away. I've talked about this before. Lots of great things happen, right? If when you complete one task from start to finish, your brain goes, hooray, you're so cool, you're so smart, you're such a hard worker. You get this sort of benefit in your brain a little for meeting that goal and finishing that project. And then you can work through 2 or 3 of those and get those done. And if you get interrupted at some point, it's not nearly as big a mess to clean up and put away and have to start again. All right, so you're going to have, I'm just clicking through here. So there's a bunch of pictures here of what your 4-section system will look like, and I'll post those up on, when I post the PDF, you'll be able to see those, and that'll go up on the website today as well. Now, what about your scraps, right? So some of you sorted scraps during paper sorting week last week. If you set those scraps aside, you want to integrate them in at this point. Now is the time to do that. So if you have scraps as part of your sorting, go ahead and put those in. Remember, you want to have the biggest possible size you can stomach, right? So 6 by 12 is ideal. I would say don't keep anything smaller than 6 by 6 if you can handle it. That's going to be the ideal thing. But if you have those scraps from themes or a calendar year or even rainbow, now's the time to integrate those right in with your other things. Then as far as labeling goes, whether you're using the Ziploc bags or the scrap rack dividers, the plastic boxes, you want to wait till the very end to put your labels on. So even though you did your themes list and you created your sorting templates, until you've got everything out and sorted, you won't really have a good idea of how much you've got. So rather than labeling something B and then later finding out you just have one category in B and it's beach, and that would have been a better tag for that. So you want to wait till you're all done and then add your labels last. I use sticky notes to label everything as I was going, and then replace them with just using my label maker here on my dividers. All right. Okay, so just a little reminder to do 1 container at a time. Do 1 container at a time. All right, so if you have questions, I'm just about ready to wrap it up. So that's Karen's little heads up to say, hey, if someone needs a question answered, they should bring in that question upstairs now. And then we're going to talk about what your challenge is this week. So your goal is to sort and store 1 container a day for 4 of the next 7 days. So 4 containers, that's not that bad, right? You should be able to do that. And then if you haven't finished sorting your paper, which I suspect most of you didn't get all your paper sorted last week, you want to sort 4 to 6 inches of paper this week. Once you get your goal done, then you want to take advantage of your reward, which is really important. And then you want to post your progress on Facebook so that you can get in on the drawing. All right, so there's a Chinese proverb that says the longest journey begins with a single step. Well, just signing up for this class was the first of your single step, and you're already on step 3. Woo! Isn't that exciting, right? Isn't that exciting? I'm kind of a geek today, right? I'm having some trouble getting my sentences out. Oh, look at Karen. Thank you. Oh, one thing says, is this being recorded because live stream is glitchy today? It is being recorded, so I will get it uploaded to YouTube and posted on our website as well if it's kind of glitchy on YouTube. Bridget says, question, where do you put flowers, not the flat ones, the bigger ones that won't fit in the scrap rack? Loving the show, Bridget. If you're talking about something like these are kind of not flat. I just happen to have these sitting aside, right? So these would actually go in the scrap rack pretty easily because they're kind of, they'll flatten out pretty easily and then pop back up. Something like this, I would actually put this in my scrap rack in a expanding project planner page or an embellishment pocket page. But if that doesn't work for you or you're not using a scrap rack, then I would get your little rainbow section of big bulky things. Remember, the important thing is being able to pull things together quickly. So if you have a lot of big bulky things that are red, so these actually came out of this drawer over here in my thing where I've got all this red stuff set up, but you could easily start a little drawer that was red and that had red big bulky flowers in it or whatever. The goal is that you have as few places to go and look for your supplies as possible, right? So if you have, a lot of people don't have bulky things. A lot of people like to keep their scrapbooks fairly flat. But if you're someone who likes all that big bulky texture, you may need to have something like a 5-drawer stash and store tower that's the rainbow, so you can put those big bulky flowers in one place where they can sit on top of each other, but they're not weighing each other down or destroying each other. Just try to keep in mind, the less stuff you have to pull together, the less places you have to look, the better off you're going to be. So try and keep things at arm's reach and try to stay within that same 4-section system. So at least you go, oh, I have red here, but I have my big bulky red right here, and then you could pull out that tray and have all those things together. Question, what happens when you go to put something away in your scrap rack and you have run out of pages? Where do you put it? Well, waiting to reorder. Stuff it in there. That's what I'm saying, right? Your scrap rack pages can hold a lot, right? You could also, in the short term, use like an 8.5 by 11 page protector and just turn it into a big pocket where you're dumping things in until you get more scrap rack pages. So I've never had that question before, actually, but so that would be a simple solution. The other thing is just to put it all together in a Ziploc bag, or a little small, maybe you have a small handled shopping bag that's just things that are waiting to go in your scrap rack. But try and keep everything together so that you can actually add it in there quickly. You don't have to go searching around for it later, right? But maybe you just need to order some extra scrap rack pages and have them ready. As a matter of fact, there's a little, comes up in one of the challenges, and it might have been in the first one, I think, where one of our previous challenge participants, and I think it was Diana Dawson, but I'm not sure, she kept all those things together. So she had a little basket of her scrap rack pages, of a pen, her label maker, blank little scraps of paper, and an ink pad for stamping. So anything new that came into her craft room, she had sort of her little organization station where it would just make a pass by the organization station and then go into wherever it belonged, whether it was a wood-mounted stamp or something in her scrap rack or a die or whatever it was. So if you can kind of set yourself up that way, that's going to make it easier too. And remember, if it's easy, we do it. And if it's not, it ends up in a pile at the end of our desk. So try to set yourself up for success. Maybe setting up that organization station is going to be really helpful. All right. Question, how many spinders are on the sample rack? There are only 4 spinders on the sample rack. So, and it the sample rack kind of ebbs and flows depending on what I'm teaching and how far along I am with it. But you can see there's not a lot in here. So even when you look at my pages, there's only 1 or 2 things in each page. Versus, and that's mostly because it just shows kind of simply how things should be loaded, versus if you looked at some of the pages in my scrap rack where there might be 5, 6, 7, 8 multiples of things in here. Those are big thick pages, but I'm trying to find a page that's not like a planning page. Like I even have, this is my son's trip to Japan. I've even got the mini album that I'm supposed to be making for that trip to Japan, and it's just stuffed right in my double-sided page here with all the things. So I'm keeping it together with all the things I'm going to use it with, but you can really load up your pages to kind of, let's see, kind of pull out something here that's, so here I've got some summer things, right? But I've got all of these things in one pocket. So don't be afraid to load up those pockets and bulk out your pages. The pages are lightweight, but they're made out of a really strong food grade plastic, so they're really durable. In the 13 years that we've been in business, we haven't ever had pages returned because someone ripped them or tore them. We've had them returned because they were there was a manufacturing defect in it, or maybe they didn't seam it properly, or they punched the hole off the edge. But the pages are really tough. Let them do the work for you. Let's stuff these all back in here. All right, so everybody, you have your assignment. You know what you need to do. Don't forget to put up your progress post. You want to get into that prize drawing. If you have other questions that we didn't answer today, you can certainly email them in or post them on Facebook, and somebody will get them answered for you there as well. We will send out a little reminder email about the things you're supposed to do this week, and with a link to that YouTube video, since this is a little bit glitchy. And it'll also just go up on our page on our website. So thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to talking with you again next week. Have a really productive, well-organized week. I'll talk to you soon.